Thank you. I oftentimes tell people that if it were not for particularly Prince, Rogers Nelson, and Run DMC, but 70s R&B and 80s hip hop, if it were not for those two things, we might not be having this moment, because it was those two things that brought me to performance, but the failure in those two things that brought me to spoken word. This poem, if you are familiar with my work, and some of you are, is a prequel. That's the game for those of you familiar. Figure out the poem that it's a prequel to. For those of you who are not, I hope you enjoy it. Being in Dayton, I actually was a big fan back when they were super popular, of the Deal Sisters. I really, really enjoyed the Breeders. I liked all the shit they did. I liked the Amps. I liked Pixies and stuff like that. But also, again, if you know me, you know that I do not cut ally passes. And although the Deal Sisters have been awesome politically, there have been a lot of bands that have been awesome politically that have not quite been great culturally. And I say that because bands like Lakeside and Slave and Aura were about as big as some of the alt-rock bands of the 90s, and yet they are sort of relegated to Wikipedia and to BET Unsung for 4 or 5 albums or hits, when actually they were bigger and put this city on the map. So I would like to dedicate this poem, Obsidian Weight Champions, to my heroes of the 70s and 80s. Obsidian, a volcanic rock, technically glass, can be as brittle as brilliance, very heavy in large deposits, craft blade dangerous when fresh, too hot to handle. That's a heat wave reference. Too hot to handle, can sharpen to surgical precision. These obsidian weight champions will bring a rock, massive and iridescent, edges so sharp that turntable stylus becomes weaponized, cuts that your local college DJ can't resist. Broadcasts will come with warning disclaimers. Gonna sound like earth heaving, grace under pressure until magma and steam create a vent the hard way, megaton blast, radiation fallout, and encore. Gonna sound like Shango shaming the devil at a block party at the crossroads. This band gonna sound like rocket fuel in the whiskey, locomotives revving underground, melting the track in their wake. This band is live alligator in your gumbo. Gonna sound like Great Migration through Marshall Stacks. This band gonna be djembe, DJ, and effect pedal. Gonna bleed unadulterated acid soul, hip hop, even if ignored the beat drop, jazz finger solos versus blues tempos, gut bucket woofers and gospel tweeters. This band gonna be the baddest, like reckless kids cussing at recess with a motherfucking bullhorn. This band gonna escape every attic rehearsal with a taste for riots, a fuse lit by the funk, hit the switch, hit the goddamn pit. This band sounds like a frontman's last 100 spent on a long-distance audition after flunking 2 midterms. Think you can see us in the battle of the bands? You got a problem on your hands. Come and get some of this shrapnel and angst and stomp and sway and all this gravity. See a griot reading motion and news in the fortunes of the mosh, sounding like free-form poetry with ancestors whispering through the monitors. Hit him again, my child. Hit him again. This band gonna sound like Funeral Pyre and Phoenix Rising. This band gonna be sub-Saharan diasporic litanies and anthems. This band gonna sound like Lift Every Voice and Chant Up the Sound. Babylon, you're throwing a guan down. This rock, a fragile danger, gotta be handled with love. We arrive not just to rock a party and in all stages of matter, sweating electric current through dark matter, keeping current on dark matters, keeping current while in the dark matters. Like all descendants of Sister Rosetta, the obsidian weights will remix time, shred space, scratch surface to core, ignite the biggest bang with talking drum, lightning fury, and kinetic coda. Thank you.